All right, let's check out the script for this hockey game. Let's see here. Avs come back 3 separate times. Yeah, that's pretty normal this season. Oh, the Avs score 4 unanswered goals. Wow, it's been a while since they've dropped a touchdown. All right, that's pretty cool. What else we got? A called back goal, a first goal of a career. Okay, yeah, this is shaping up pretty well. Wait a minute, hang on. What does this say? Eustace Annunen posts a 900 save percentage? Hang on, who approved this? What? This can't be right. Avs win over the Ottawa Senators 7-4. Hockey has to be the dumbest sport. It just has to be. All the nonsense that goes on, all the ridiculousness, it's just gotta be. It's part of why we love the sport. This game was certainly dumb. The Avs didn't really play particularly well outside of the third period, and they still won. I'm certainly not going to complain about that. I don't understand how they keep doing it, but hey, whatever. For the first 48 minutes of this game, the Avs did not have a lead. At least a decent portion of that time is tied hockey, but the Avs do give up the first goal of the game on a penalty kill. The Avs lose the opening faceoff of this penalty kill, and Ottawa doesn't do anything crazy here. It's a nice little play for the initial shot. Opened up a good passing lane to get a decent shot from the top of the circles that LOC blocks. This is defended well. Unfortunately, the block skips right back out off of LOC back to Ottawa. It's just tough, man. There's nothing you can really do there. LOC obviously feeling the pain of the shot. They're able to reload because of a good bounce, and it ends up in the back of your net. I don't really have a huge problem with this one. I don't even really have a huge problem with a penalty happening against the Avs here. Stuff happens in a hockey game. You can live with some of it. It's a whole lot easier to live with when you score it right back almost immediately. This initial play doesn't even work, but check out Mikko in the neutral zone, lifting a stick and then controlling a puck off of his skate. Just nasty stuff to get the Avs in the zone on a 2-on-1 that McKinnon then flubs. But on the reset, McKinnon goes high in the zone. We see this happen a lot with McKinnon. He ends up getting double teamed and 2 guys stick to him, which opens up a lane. It's Cale Makar to take advantage of this lane. He gets in deep, and honestly, this is pretty poorly defended from Ottawa. Makar, from the dot, has all the options in the world. He has an open Jonathan Drouin in the middle, and he has an open Mikko Rantanen on the back door. He opts to hit Mikko for that bunt play that Mikko loves, and that one is pretty easy from there. No matter how dumb a hockey game gets, the Avs have the talent to just be better than the other team. That was it for the first period. I actually thought Annunen was playing pretty darn well through the first, making a couple of big saves for Colorado. And then the Avs run into the second period, where they played terribly, particularly on their own power plays, where they gave up more chances than they got. So that's a bit embarrassing, but they actually got away with those issues. It was the 5-on-5 play where things started to fall apart for the Avs. So Ottawa controlling, heading back up to the top of the zone. McKinnon does get shook pretty hard here, but it really shouldn't matter that much on this play. This puck comes through a bit of a shooting lane. There's not much there, and Ottawa gets a good tip on this puck. The initial shot doesn't go in, but the redirect changes the angle enough for it to go off the post. The bounce off of the post comes in and drops right behind Annunen. Unfortunately, Ottawa just wins the race to that puck, and it's in the back of the net. It's another goal where I'm willing to give a little bit of a pass, tipped in front, weird bounces, puck ends up in the net. And again, the Avs answer immediately. Malinski, resetting for the Avs here, is able to get this puck up quick all the way up to the blue line, and a nice one touch by Olofsson gets them into the zone. Polin is able to walk in on what has become a 2-on-1, and a guy who has played 3 NHL games doesn't overthink this one. He puts it towards the net, and he beats Sogard. The first goal of Jason Polin's career, of the call-ups, he seems to be the one that has fit the best in the Avs' bottom 6, that being between him, Tufte, and Olausson mostly. I doubt he ends up sticking when everyone gets fully healthy, but this is how you start making a case for it. Unfortunately, it's here where the wheels come off a bit for Colorado. 1 minute past the midway point of the game, they're down 2. The Avs are getting caught in a bit of a slow, lazy change here as Sanderson gets this up the ice quickly and gets Ottawa into the zone. It becomes an odd man rush because of that. Cale caught between defending 2 guys. It's a tough spot. He gives up a ton of room in the middle, though. You don't love that. And a guy cutting through the middle, yeah, that's going to happen in the NHL. This is going to be the goal that Annunen is going to want back. Some initial play from Ottawa deep in the zone gets deflected and pushed back out. And then a similar play to what we saw McKinnon and Makar run the earlier in the game on the other side of the ice. A bit of a weird non-handoff here. Drouin has to stick with his man coming down instead of handing that off to a defenseman in Malinski. Malinski Probably still not fully adjusted to the Avs systems. Either way, this still shouldn't be that dangerous of a play. Druin is there enough, and there's bodies in front, that this is all forced to the outside here. This should be trackable by Annunen, and he just gets a little bit too compact, a little bit too far onto his post there, that a drag back to the forehand side is able to beat him, as there's a lot of net to shoot at. Certainly that fourth one is not great goaltending from Eustace. At that point, it's 4 goals against on 22 shots. Unfortunately, a fairly typical Avs goaltending performance of late. If you told me at that moment that he was somehow going to get to a 900 save percentage, I would not have believed you. What I would have believed is some nonsense happening in this game. Sam Malinski gets the Avs back to within 1 on a goal that the Avs are just offside on. It's the Avs' fault. It was clearly offside. There's no thing to argue here. It's just dumb. So instead of getting back to within 1, you see the game stay at a 2-goal lead for Ottawa, a thing that very, very often deflates teams, but not Colorado. They just go out for their next shift and score that goal again. It's only stretch hockey tonight. Sam Girard rips one up the ice all the way to the blue line. It's a bank pass. You can't really see it in frame, but he gets it to McKinnon, who immediately gets it across the ice to Rantanen. The Avs just play too quick. It's ridiculous. And then Mikko gets a little bit lucky that pass gets through, but doesn't mess around. Fires a beautiful shot on the far side in the corner. Was Sogard bad tonight? Yeah. Absolutely. There are multiple goals that he probably wants back, but also great to see Mikko show off that shot and beat a goalie clean. He hasn't done nearly enough of that lately. So you've gotten 2 goals from your top guys and a depth goal, and you're still down a goal in this hockey game. Did I mention this is a back-to-back where the Avs are the tired team and Ottawa is rested? On paper, this should not be a good third period. And somehow the Avs aren't just the better team, they rack up 4 goals in the third period and kind of end up running away with this hockey game. To be fair, the guy who ties the game for the Avs is the one guy who has fresh legs. Both teams have done it with stretch passing, but the Avs can do it with their legs too. Taves just gets this up into the neutral zone where LOC turns it on to get to the blue line before ultimately slowing up and waiting for an extra man to join the rush. That extra man is Miles Wood. Colton clears the lane by going hard to the net. Once Wood is able to pick this up, he's just faster. Simply skates around a guy. Nothing fancy here, just skates around him and gets to the net, and he does very similar to what Ottawa scored their 4th goal with. Pull it to the forehand side and beat him. It's incredible how much of a difference getting one guy back in your lineup can make. The Avs have been extraordinarily thin on their forward core for the last few games. You just replaced Caleb Jones, a defenseman, with Miles Wood, certainly a third-line guy. If nothing else, the Avs are a super fun team to watch. Sometimes it's terribly ugly. Sometimes it's unbelievably good. But no matter what happens, they are entertaining. As the third period progresses, the Avs get another power play opportunity. The first unit continues to be terrible, but a hodgepodge second unit gets the job done. So the Avs second unit working with 3 defensemen here, Malinski up top. They eventually work this down in deep. Interesting to see Sam Girard so deep in the zone. And I'll be honest with you here, I think he's probably looking for Ryjo with this pass, not Malinski back up top. But you'll notice by working it in so deep, look at that extra hesitation from Girard, how deep Ottawa is on this play. You have 2 guys on their knees essentially in the crease, 1 guy on the back door down deep below the hashes, and 1 guy as low as the hashes. So when this puck goes through and it slips by Ryjo, now you have Malinski with a ton of time and space up high. Maybe you would have even liked to see him use a little bit more of this space, but he recognizes he has a shooting lane, he throws it on net, and it goes in. Malinski gets his goal back. He scored the one that was taken away earlier in the game. A little bit lucky, sure, but this one goes in for him. And on a game-by-game basis, Malinski is making it hard to get rid of him. It may ultimately be a fit thing where the Avs are looking for more defensive D in the depth of their lineup once they get healthy, but Malinski is showing he can absolutely play in the NHL. So that adds a defensive goal along with a power play goal to the list for Colorado. They're just getting it from everywhere. And again, against better goaltending, they probably don't get this comeback. At least it doesn't look as dominant as this. But when the other team makes mistakes, you have to take advantage of it. And that's what the Avs do. They get a dagger from another depth goal. A scramble face-off here eventually is going to go the Avs' way, and you're going to see after a battle for the puck, Girard gets this along the wall. And the Avs have made a lot of great stretch passes tonight. This isn't one of them. This is Sam Girard on his backhand throwing a puck up and out of the zone, just trying to control play and get it out of the Avs zone. Doesn't matter though, because Miles Wood just turns on the afterburners and is able to find a puck and get the Avs going the right direction. Again, the Avs can do it with their legs, even in a game with 8 minutes left on a back-to-back. They're doing it with their legs. Wood, a great job to get this to LOC, who comes in and joins the rush one-on-one, and LOC with a little bit of drag action. When the Avs play their best, they just own teams. If you are not a top-of-the-line team, the Avs can beat you from everywhere, even with a semi-depleted lineup. And I should mention, through all of this time, Eustace is making multiple saves. He ends up with 40 shots against. He makes 36 of those saves. That's how he gets to 900. Was it the best performance ever? No. Was it good enough? Yes. Did he have to do a lot of work? Yes. That's solid stuff. The empty netter eventually makes it 7-4, and the Avs make it seem like this one was never in doubt. It's not just 4, like I said earlier, it's actually 5 unanswered goals if you count Mikko's in the second period. Technically 6 if you count Sam Malinski's taken away goal. When it came down to it, despite the context of it being a back-to-back, tired legs, whatever you want to call it, the Avs were the better team when it counted. And Ottawa's not any good this year. That's not a huge surprise. It's not a huge, big win. But we're at a point in the season where a win is a win. Yes, you don't love the Avs falling behind and making sloppy plays. There are a lot of things they can do better. But at the end of the day, you got 2 points. And that's big. There's a lot of things in hockey that just can't be explained. You just got to watch. You just got to experience them. This was kind of one of those games. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. Head on over to thednvr.com for all of our coverage. I am Rudo, and I'm cool with being dumb.